Now let's look at transmission of impulse across a synapse. Okay, do you still remember what is synapse? So impulses, ini adalah synapse. Can you see this? That's the small gap in between the synaptic knob and also the adjacent neuron. Neuron yang bersebelahan, dendrite of the adjacent neuron dengan the synaptic knob of the previous neuron ini ada satu gap di antara mereka. So this is what we call the synapse. Okay. So impulses are transmitted chemically, okay, across synapses. Impulse punya transmission. So the chemical substances involved, okay, kita panggil dia sebagai neurotransmitters. And where are they kept? They are being kept in the synaptic vesicles. Okay, boleh nampak? This is the synaptic vesicles. Ini ada punya vesicle. Okay, inside containing all these neurotransmitter. So there are two examples of neurotransmitter in most synapses. Okay, number one is acetylcholine and also noradrenaline. Okay, noradrenaline, acetylcholine, inilah dua contoh neurotransmitters that are found in most of the synapses. So other examples are the serotonin and dopamine. Okay, so process of transmitting impulses through synapses is slower, unlike those nerve impulse transmission that is through electrical. Kenapa slow? Because it occurs chemically. Okay, chemically. The one which is across synapse adalah secara kimia. So at first, what will happen is that the electrical signal ini, it will be changed to a chemical signal, okay, in the form of a neurotransmitter. Then the chemical substance is converted again to an electrical signal. Okay, notice here, converted again, electrical signals on the membrane of the receiving neuron. Okay, ada membrane di sini. Okay, so conversion happens here on the receiving neurons lah, this membrane that we are talking about. Alright, so synaptic knobs. Ini adalah synaptic knob. Okay, iaitu axon terminal, dia punya hujung axon ini has got the bulging part kan. This is known as the synaptic knob. So synaptic knob contains numerous mitochondria. What is the function of mitochondria? That is the site of cellular respiration. So that means kalau banyak mitochondria, it is meant to generate a lot of energy that is required for the transmission of nerve impulses. Okay, mari kita lihat dengan lebih lanjut. Okay, at transmission of information across the synapse. Okay, still the same picture that we are looking at. So first, let's recall on what is synapse. That's the narrow gap in between these two. Okay, synaptic knob dan juga the adjacent neuron. That the chemicals are used by the neuron to transmit an impulse across a synapse. Okay, mula-mula that is electrical signal. So upon reaching the synaptic knob, it has to be converted to chemicals by means of neurotransmitter. Okay, to cross this gap. Synaptic knob contains vesicles. Okay, what is this vesicles for? It is the place where the neurotransmitters are located. So vesicles are filled with chemicals. So when the impulse arrives at this synaptic knob, the vesicles release neurotransmitters into the synapse. So a lot of neurotransmitters will be released to the gap over here, ataupun kita panggil sebagai synapse. And that the neurotransmitter molecules diffuse across the synapse to the dendrite of another neuron. Okay, maksudnya dia akan pergi, this neurotransmitter akan meresap melalui this gap, synapse, and then next to it, to the dendrite of another neuron. Dan follow after that is that this dendrite will be stimulated. Okay, dendrite of the adjacent neuron. neuron bersebelahan. Dia punya dendrite will be stimulated to trigger a new nerve impulse, which is going to travel along the neuron. Ini yang kita panggil sebagai how electrical signals are being changed to chemical signals and then being converted back to electrical signals. Okay, let's recall again. It says here, this one is in your textbook, figure 12.9, transmission of impulses across synapses. So you can see a lot of mitochondria here. Okay, this illustration clearly shows you the presence of mitochondria, and you can see that this is the membrane. Okay, the membrane has got this receptor protein. Okay, this is the receiving neuron ataupun neuron yang the adjacent neuron just now, yang ini. Okay. So when electrical impulses reach synaptic knob, so you have to start with this. Electrical impulses dulu yang akan sampai kepada this area called the synaptic knob. This place has got a lot of these synaptic vesicles. So upon reaching this place, synaptic knob, synaptic vesicles will be stimulated to release the neurotransmitter that is within it into the synapse. Dia akan pergi mendekati this membrane and then going to release the neurotransmitters. Okay, semua dia akan pergi dekat kepada membrane and then release all the neurotransmitters to the synapse. So neurotransmitters, okay, next verb is that you use diffuse. Diffuse through the synapse. Okay, lepas tu, combine with the specific receptor protein. This is the receptor protein yang ada pada membrane of the adjacent of the receiving neuron. Okay, so the textbook used the term receiving neuron. So this specific receptor protein is at the dendrite of the receiving neuron, combined with the neurotransmitter just now. So this will cause the binding of this neurotransmitter and the receptor will cause a new nerve impulse to be stimulated. So it says here, stimulates initiation of the next impulse so that impulse can be transmitted through the neuron. Okay, jadi dia akan terus berjalan. Perjalanan of this nerve impulse diteruskan, okay, and that it will travel across the axon dan seterusnya lah. Okay, continuing the journey.